Hey everyone, it's Maria Horner and I'm back here in my kitchen in Altadena, California with another episode of Howlands at Home. Today I'm joined by Leona Zardel, who is coming to us all the way from Austria. So hey Leona, how are you today?
I'm fine. What about you?
I'm good. Thanks so much for calling in. What time is it there?
It's 11 p.m.
Yeah. It's 2 o'clock here in California for those of you who are wondering about the time difference. So to start out with, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your years at camp and actually how you came to find us all the way from Austria.
All right. So my name is Leona, and I first came to camp 2015 as a camper. And how I found out about camp is that one of my friends who went to school with me, his older sister watched a movie, The Parent Trap, where she saw some kids who met at a camp who actually found out they were twins. And then she just wanted to go to an American summer camp. And then she went to CIC 1 year. And then her younger brother, Vincent, he joined too. And he went there, and our parents have always been like talking about the English talking experience of us, because as I am from Austria, my mother tongue is German and not English, and my parents wanted me to like improve my English skills. And then they were like, yeah, why don't you let Leona come with us and with Vincent? And they asked me if I want to go, and I was like, yes, because they showed me all the videos of like snorkeling and PBA and all that. And I was like, yes, I'm going to go. And then at the age of 14, I flew all over the globe with my friend. And then we came to camp for 4 weeks, and it was a blast. And that's why I kept coming back.
That's so awesome. So where you're in Austria, tell us a little bit about where you are right now and what you're doing, like who's at home with you, how are you guys spending your time?
So I'm in Austria. So everyone who doesn't know it, it's like in the center of Europe. And a lot of people know it from The Sound of Music. And yes, and currently I'm staying at home with my parents, and yeah, I'm just like helping them out in the garden because we're redoing all of our garden and planting some new trees, like some apricot trees and apple trees and all kind of that things. And also I started to like get a lot into painting again and into playing the guitar. And another thing that I've been doing recently, which I think it's a super thing to do. So when I was younger, I used to download the app Acapella, where you can make your own Acapella videos. Works like that you have like a square, and in that square are 4 squares, and then you can record each square. So you're doing like in one, you're just doing like the beatboxing, and then you do like the do 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 do, and then in the other one you're just drumming, and then in the last one I always sing, and I can sing pretty well, but I just think it's super funny because I just send those videos that I make to my friends just to make them laugh. And even though if I haven't texted them in 2 weeks, I'm just gonna send it into the group chat, just make it live again. And yeah, it's super cringe, I think, but it's fun for me.
Okay, that's awesome. We're totally going to need to get you to send one to us so that we can post it on the camp Instagram. I think people would love that. Okay, so one of the things that we ask everybody to do is to share one of their favorite camp jokes. What's your joke for us?
So I don't know a lot of jokes, but the one that sticks to my head that occurs every year is, Maria, why is 6 afraid of 7?
I don't know, Leona. Why is 6 afraid of 7?
Because 7, 8, 9.
Love those number jokes. Love those number jokes. So you came to camp. You've been coming to camp for a lot of years now. What is like one of your favorite camp memories?
One of my favorite camp memories is actually from my first day at camp, because it just feels like it was yesterday. Because when I came to the harbor, like for the kids who don't know it yet, because it's their first year, when you come to camp, there is the harbor, and you get there, and then you go to the check-in desk, and then Maria tells you which cabin you're in, and then one of the staff member brings you to your cabin, and there's your cabin counselor and some other kids from your cabin, and you're just playing games and getting to know each other, which is super fun. and I really loved it. And then you're just waiting until and playing games until the boat departures. And when I first came to camp, I did not understand a lot of English because I've only had 4 years of English at school. So I was just standing there with my friend Vincent, who was like way better than me in English. And he was standing there and he knew what was going on because it was his second year. And I was just going with the flow. I was just like, all right, we're playing some games. I don't know why, but we're just making animal noises. All right, I'm pretty into this. All right. And the cool part about it was that we were 3 kids at the harbor because 7 of the rest of our cabin were already on the island because they were 4-week campers and they've stayed like the session before. And I've never been anxious about not fitting in, but at that point, everything was just so exciting for me because everything was just so new that I was like, because I was talking to the other kids who has also gone to camp for so many more years. Like, for example, one of them has gone for 4 years who was with me at the harbor. And then we were like talking and chatting. And then we came to the island and I was just thinking on a boat ride, those kids have been there like almost their life. Like, for example, Molly and Tommy, they've lived there almost their whole life at camp. And I thought, how am I gonna fit into that group of friends who like come together every year and have like a strong bond? And when we came to that island, we were walking off the dock and there were just 7 kids and 1 counselor running to us and they were hugging us and be like, oh, how are you? So nice to meet you. And they were just talking to us and I was like, all right, this is a place I'm gonna fit in right away. And it was just like that. I feel like it's not if you come to camp, you don't meet a stranger, you meet a friend. And that's really what camp is about. And that's what I always remember.
That's so awesome. Because, yeah, I mean, it can be hard when you're going to a new place for the first time in the best of circumstances. But when you've traveled thousands of miles and it's not even your native language, like that can be super scary. So what a brave thing, what a brave thing to do. That is so awesome. What do you think when you look back at all of your years of camp, what are some of the things you think you've learned about yourself or just about life or whatever?
I definitely learned how to be myself and to just do what you want to do, follow your heart, and to do the things that you really want to do. And I also learned, like, especially from the years I've been a CIT, how to adapt to things that happen, because a lot of times things don't go as planned, and sometimes also at camp, and you just have to think about fixing the more or less problem in a short amount of time, and you just have to adapt. And through being a CIT, I really learned how to do it quickly. And yeah, also my listening skills, of course, when you're talking to all the kids and you're finding out about all the different interests they have because they come from so many different backgrounds. Like one of the campers, she was super into crystals and into the space, and she was talking about those things and all the other different informations from the other campers. I really improved my listening skills through that.
You've probably also improved your English skills a great deal.
Also, yes. It kind of feels like camp raised me in my like English path.
Sure.
Now I'm almost fluent, and when I first came,
I would say you're fluent, Leona. I would give you that fluency. Okay, so one of the other things that we always ask is for staff to share their favorite camp song with us. So what are you going to sing for us today?
So I'm not gonna sing Create a Twist. I'm going to do the clap thing that we were talking about.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell people what it is. Okay,
all right. Before a meal, we have those cool things that we do at camp, and before a meal, any cabin or any person just goes and raises their voice and screams, CIC, give me 1, give me 2, give me 3, break it down. Woo! And I really love it because I'm teaching my friends that, and I just feel like it just makes your mood so much better.
So like you, most of our campers, all of our campers really are sitting at home. You know, they're not able to go to school. They're not able to see their friends. What kind of advice would you have to kids who are at home and maybe not totally loving it?
I would say focus on the positive things, focus on the things you love to do. Like, for example, I actually always love to draw and to paint, and now I have time to do it because during the school year, I've never had time to actually sit down and draw a lot. So I think that's something that is a super time to use, and also just try out new things. I started playing the guitar again, which I quit 2 years ago, and now I'm getting back to it. Or do other things, maybe also get into something that someone else likes. Like, for example, my mom really likes to ride her bike and I don't. And I started to go with her on bike rides, and now I finally like it again. Like, just going with my parents and just spending the time with my parents, because I think now is the greatest time to just sit down with your parents and enjoy that time, because later in life you may not have that much time with that, and I think you just have to cherish the moment.
That's awesome. So, okay, so we're going to finish up with what I'm calling our fast five. So I have 5 quick questions to ask you. No need to like overthink it. Just tell us the first thing that comes into your mind. So this first one is a fill in the blank. My favorite thing about camp is?
The people.
Nice, nice. A television show that I'm currently binge watching.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
A song that can always make me dance.
Waka Waka.
A snack that I'm eating way too much of.
It's weird, but carrots. I always dip them in hummus, so don't judge me.
That's a very, I mean, most of the answers I've gotten have been junk food. So carrots and hummus, you're doing good, Leona. Okay, and then the last one is, what is a quote that you would like to see on our quote board this summer?
So I would say we cannot change the wind, but we can hoist the sails differently. And that means that if you have a positive attitude towards a thing that you don't like, or to accusation that maybe it just doesn't or isn't that nice for you, you can always treat the problem with a better mindset and a positive mindset, and through that it always gets better. Like, for example, if you, like in that time of Corona, if you're sitting at home and you're being like, oh, I want to see my friends, and that's pretty bad, you can still try to focus on the positive things and be like, now I got to spend more time with my parents, or to do something else that I really like. And that's one of my quotes.
Awesome. Thanks, Leona. So thanks so much for joining us today. I really appreciate being able to talk to you. And everyone else, thanks for being here. Watch for new episodes of Howlands at Home every Tuesday and Thursday. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.